All right, so here we go again, talking about scaling, and we're going to get into really some common problems. Now, these are just some of the common problems that a lot of businesses that I've worked with over the years are having or have had or need solutions to put better ways of communicating with their customers, so on and so forth. Different methodologies need to be input depending on what kind of company you are. Okay. Now, business is very mechanical. You'll hear me say this a million times if you ever work with me directly. You'll hear me say business is very mechanical, and most of the problems that we have in our businesses are because we are self sabotagers to ourselves. Most of our business problems that we have, we've created those problems ourselves, pretty much. But three problems that I see common problems. Number one, when it comes to working with customers, not having the good input and or output for customer service in place. And I deal with it as a consumer all the time. It drives me crazy when I buy a product, I get that product, it's not as advertised. I can't get a hold of customer support. I can't get a refund. I can't talk to a live human being. It's extremely frustrating from a customer standpoint to have those issues with a product or service. So I always try to teach and mentor people when they're working within their own company. Look at your company through the eyes of a consumer. So let's just say, for instance, you have a website, you sell XYZ widget. Go on your own website and buy a product. Go through the process yourself. Buy a product. Get the product shipped to you. Act like that product is, there's something wrong with it or something. Call your own customer support. See how well they're doing with the customer support side. Or or are they answering through your email service, whatever email customer support service you're using? Are they answering? Or is the question getting answered in a timely manner? Are they getting a refund? If would you get a refund yourself if you asked for one? Or would you get a new one shipped? And would they just ship it for free? These are some of the things you got to know that are happening in your company. And I've seen this time and time again where the owner's pretty blind to a lot of it. Well, at the end of the day, it's your company, and ignorance is not an excuse. You don't get that excuse. You don't get to be ignorant. Okay. So know, just starting from scratch here, problem wise, know that your number one factor, and that is thy customer, is squared away. Because if they're not going to come back and order again. We don't want just a one-time customer. We want a long lasting customer that's going to come back and buy again and buy again and buy again. And if you don't have that customer support structure there for them and they have one negative experience, they'll never come back to you again. It's the number one, or probably one of the big issues I see is customer support, service support, and refund processing. Now, if you want to know a company that really does this well, I mean, they do it really well, and that's Amazon. Amazon is really awesome when it comes to if I get something damaged, boom, you talk to their support team, they got another one on the way. And I'll give you two examples of this. So we're Starbucks fans. We love this one particular type of Starbucks. We have a built-in machine that's built into our cabinet and it takes whole beans. So we've always just got whole beans. It's on a subscription with Amazon. So we've always just gotten these whole beans by subscription. Well, oddly, we got our 3 bags of Starbucks coffee and it was already ground. We don't like it already ground. We like the whole bean version to put in our machine, and it's got a grinder and grinds it up, automatically makes the coffee. So we called, they said, no problem, and boom, shipped another batch. Well, guess what? Same thing. That's now 6 bags of coffee. Called them back. They said, no problem, we'll get it right this time. Boom. Same thing. Ground coffee. 9 bags of ground coffee. And finally, they got it right. They shipped the right ones and we're back on our subscription. But they must have had a box mislabeled or something. The point is they made it right every time and they didn't even ask us to return those 9 bags of coffee, which worked out great for Christmas presents. But I'm not telling you to be like Amazon and just give stuff away for free. But if it's your mistake, you would provide a return shipping label for them to return that product at no expense. Okay, and then ship the right one. But that's a great example of how Amazon wins the loyalty of their customer. They have a customer service support that is extremely beefy, and they will do whatever it takes to retain you as a customer, which is phenomenal. Okay, then we get down to product. Okay, product can be a huge problem. Okay, especially if you're ordering factory direct from China or Mexico, wherever you're getting factory direct stuff, or you're drop shipping product that you never see. I personally am not a huge fan of that method, but now if you're going to hold product, you got to have warehouses. That's a whole nother structure, of course, but and it can work out well. But there again, know the product that you're selling. You don't have to sell on a website or something. You don't have to have 500 products that you're drop shipping. Know the trends of what people are buying now. Do the research, find out what the trends are, the top 5 products, find the place you're going to get them, order them yourself, make sure they're good products, then sell those products and drop ship them. Because you'll have got to see the you'll have got to see the product with your own eyes. Put it in your own hands, touch it, feel it, make sure it's good and a good product that we're going to put in the customer's hand. Okay. It's very important to kick out good products to our customers. Don't push out junk, but you can only know that if you're selling physical product. You'll only know that if you put your hands on the product. Now, if you're doing something that's service-based, well, that's still a product, and you can still compare to your competitor. Make sure your product, whatever it is competitive with the marketplace. Okay. Now, fulfillment, that's the other end of this. Fulfillment is there again, the shipping end of it. It could be, something that's service-based, whatever the case may be. Make sure you fulfill what you say you're going to fulfill, when you're going to fulfill it. And if the customer isn't happy with that product, you refund them their money. That's extremely important to do that. And always provide more value right up front, more value than they think they're going to get. It's like anytime I do any kind of courseware training or anything, I always underprice it. Why? Because I want to give more quality than I'm getting in return for pay. Because then I don't have to worry about somebody coming back and saying, oh, well, that wasn't worth it. Because I undervalue my product on purpose, specifically on purpose. Because I know the price that I price things that I sell in my company, I know my customer will be absolutely blown away that they got this value for this price. A 3 or 4 hour course for such a ridiculously low price and it helped them maybe even 2 or 3x their business. Just like this little course here. I hope this course even if you just take 1 or 2 things away from all of this and apply it into your business, and you take a couple simple tools from this, apply them, and it helps you make additional money in your company, great, awesome. You got something from it. If you got nothing from this training at all, well then I guess you're the great Houdini, because I'm a lifelong learner, and I learn from every bit of training I've ever taken. Even if it was just the most fundamental thing, there was always a little nugget in there somewhere that I went, huh, boom. And that made it all worth it for me in training. So, really, really provide huge value through that fulfillment process. Okay. Now, I mean, there's tons of other problems that need to be solved within companies. I'm just giving you some examples here of some of the kind of the top ones that I see businesses struggle the most with. And that is the customer service piece, a good product, and then fulfilling that product and fulfilling the promise that you told your customer that you were going to fulfill. Those are huge, huge things to make sure you live up to. Okay, so take these just few examples, expand these, check in your own company, see, okay, well, what's my process? What does my process look like? Let me go through it myself and see what happens. Okay, I guarantee you, well, I'm not going to guarantee you, but I'd almost be willing to bet that there's hiccups in that process somewhere in just these three simple things. Okay, so check those things out, look at them, tweak things out if they need to be tweaked, and expand this these three problems into other areas of your business that you want to look at as well, and see if there's other issues going on in other areas of your business. These are all things that directly affect your ability to scale your company. If you're taking your company from 1 million to 10 million, your customer service can't look like it looks at 1 million. It has to look different. It's got to be way more robust. Your fulfillment process has to be more robust. You've got to have more employees, so on and so forth. So take these, plug them in to your business, see what issues you're having, and make those changes. We'll see you in the next video.